Let's do a quick recap. So this is my brother Noah, and this is his best friend Austin, who is now my best friend Austin. Long story short, Austin asked me on a date.
Will you go on a date with me?
And not only was it a date, but it was my first date ever. And the worst part is, Noah didn't know.
What are you doing, bro?
Which, as you can guess, did not end very well for me or Austin. And so whatever story you're thinking of in your head right now, I can promise this was crazy. And we're gonna talk about it all for the first time right now. Do we really want to share this story? I've been asking myself this question. It is what it is. So if y'all like a good love story, and if you guys like a good laugh, this is the vlog for you. Something that's really cool that me and Austin are doing, and I realized I haven't even told you guys about this, is that me and Austin really wanted to be intentional to let you guys in on exactly what we were feeling in case maybe you were dealing with a similar situation. And so that honestly, you could just get a better understanding of why we did what we did and who we really are. And so I've been posting my personal perspective on my channel, but Austin's been posting his whole entire other perspective on his. So y'all make sure after you watch mine to go check out Austin's and watch the previous vlogs if you guys have not, because this is a story you're gonna want to hear from beginning to end, all different angles. There are seriously so many more hilarious moments. Click any button you gotta click in order to not miss out. Subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you like, what you want to see, what you want to hear. Also, I really hope to become your friend, and I've met so many incredible friends here on YouTube, and I can't wait to get to know you. So if you're new, let me know who you are and where you're from. So before this video starts, I want to share something really exciting with you guys. For those of you guys that don't know, my friends and I have a ministry called JWLKRS. We hold events in Orlando, Florida. We do outreach, telling people about God, telling people about Jesus, how he's transformed our lives. And we are hosting our first ever conference here in Orlando in September, on September 29th and 30th. And I want y'all to be there. And so this is something that me and Austin have put our heads together. We've brainstormed and we have come up with a way for you to get to this conference for free. It's every single one of you guys that goes right now and follows me and Austin on Instagram are entering to win a trip for you and your best friend to get flown down here, have your flights, have your hotel, and your tickets to the conference paid for. You heard me right. You could win a trip for you and your bestie to come to Florida, stay at a nice hotel, and go to literally my dream conference. I'm telling you, I truly believe the Lord is going to move in a mighty way in those 2.5 days of the JWLKRS conference. He's already provided literally beyond and above all our minds could ask, think, or imagine. We're having our favorite worship band that's partnering with us called Maverick City the entire conference. My favorite speaker, Jenny Allen, is coming, and on Saturday night is going to pour her entire heart out to us. I believe God is going to speak in your life, that the prayers you've been asking for, he is going to answer. He's going to give wisdom, discernment, purpose, and you do not want to miss it. So if you haven't, I put my Instagram link below. Go give me a follow and enter for you and your best friend to win a trip to our conference completely free. I cannot wait to see you guys there. Not to mention, I'm speaking for the first time ever, so y'all are going to be there for that. So me and Austin's first date was on November 13th in 2021. The only people that knew about it were my best friend Carol and my friend Kay Stout, because me and Austin had decided to keep it super private and between us because we really wanted to give it the fair shot that it deserved. You know, we were stepping into something that if it didn't work out could potentially change not just me and his relationship, but our whole entire dynamic of our friend group. And that was scary. And we knew if they knew about this date that there would be joking. It would just add another element of pressure that might cloud our judgment to where when we stepped into it, we couldn't really discern if it was right or not. And so I remember getting ready that day, and that pressure was on. I remember calling my best friend Carol and calling Kay Stout and just asking them, like, for their voice of reason, am I doing the right thing? Am I sure that I should step into this? Do I even feel this way about him? I was second guessing everything that I had felt on Halloween. I remember them telling me, remember those moments when you thought that you had lost him, or it's always gonna be in the back of your head, what if? And I knew that I could not live with that thought of what could have been, just for the sake of staying in my comfort zone and guarding my pride. And so as I got ready, I didn't even listen to music. I was so overwhelmed, just trying to make sure I was doing the right thing. This was not only my first date with Austin, but my first date period. And ever since I was young, I had made that commitment to myself that I wouldn't just go out with random guys. That if I went out with someone and I kissed somebody for the first time, that it was gonna be something special, that it was gonna be with somebody that I knew I could see a future with, or that I knew just had the potential of a guy that I would allow to lead me. So that added more pressure to me. I was so in my head, but at the same time, so eager and excited to step into it to see if this weird feeling that I had felt this entire time was really something more. I remember him calling me being so anxious. What if I go downstairs and there's people there? What if I walk outside and somebody catches me? Or I don't even know. I was just so in my head, so scared of what people would think. And so I walked out the door in my room. I remember going down the main staircase of my house because I'd heard somebody in the kitchen. I walked outside of the door and around the house, and there he was. Oh my god. I feel like we're doing some sort of thing for The Bachelor. That is exactly how you were on the car too, like so nerve-wracking with your hands.
Like I was all the way back like this.
I literally feel like I'm living this for the first time again.
I know, it's crazy. And do you actually remember what happened?
My worst nightmare of my entire life, because we were trying
Your
to keep
worst
it a
nightmare.
secret.
This is my worst nightmare.
We were trying to keep it a secret that we were going on a date, and it didn't work out because you can't keep secrets in our house.
Not a family this big.
And so tell him what happened.
I backed my car in. Right as I sit down, Colby comes out this side door and he's like,
God.
"What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing, just chilling." And then he goes back in, right?
And I purposely told him, like, do not open the door for me, like stay at the car because I want to get out of here.
Like literally 20 to 30 seconds later, the whole garage door opens and I'm like, no.
No.
No, 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 no. But I held my ground. I'm not moving.
This is right about the time that I was walking around the corner to meet Austin.
And Noah, Keika, Colby all walked out of the house and started asking me questions. They're like, what are you doing? In my head, I was like, I just gotta own it. I'm not hiding stuff. I have nothing to hide. I was like, I'm here to take your sister on a date.
Imagine this, right? Your best friend is outside of your house waiting, because Noah was living here at the time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Waiting like this for your sister to walk outside and you don't know about it.
My heart was pounding the whole time. I was like, how do I explain this? Because we didn't tell anybody. She didn't want me to tell anybody,
No,
right?
we needed it to be free. I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, what is going on in Noah's mind? And so I asked him.
So this is what happened, right? This is what happened. Austin, I don't want to say secretive, but it was not disclosed.
Sketchy as frick.
It was not disclosed.
so
it was sketchy. So I'm coming home. Lo and behold, Austin's all dressed up, sitting on the edge of his car like this, with the door open.
All black, button
For like
down.
15 minutes though.
In my mind, and I know this is totally made up, but in my mind, like he definitely had a rose in his mouth.
He did not have a rose in his mouth.
I think you did.
That's absurd.
I think you did.
Very
So
weird.
anyway, I do what any best friend does.
Yeah, obviously.
I go to my partner and cry. No. Austin's outside all dressed up, waiting for Allie. So Noah
Did the best thing I could in that situation as a brother, and I like went over to the garage and opened the garage.
So messed up.
as if we were leaving to go get some food.
And so we opened the garage, and there he is, rose in mouth, legs crossed,
rose in mouth.
arms
Leaning
together,
against the car.
leaning on the front of the car like he's like waiting for someone to take a picture of him. And we're like, "Hey, buddy." And he's like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And we're like, "What are you doing?
He got a little skittish.
What are you doing, bro?" And he's like, I don't even know what he said. He said something about taking you on like a date, your first official date or something like that, right? In which case I was like, that's gonna be fun. And then I found out later from you that he put that rose on your seat and that you were so like up in arms about it that you actually didn't even take the rose. She like got in the car and sat on it.
So at this moment, Austin opens up my door.
This is what I do.
It's like this, okay? He had a perfectly picked rose on the seat.
One rose.
One rose.
Very special.
And because I was so stressed out, guys, I didn't even realize. And I legitimately sat directly on the rose and broke it in
She
half.
didn't even see it, and I was like trying to acknowledge the rose, like be romantic and go through the whole stage and like moment and everything, and she was like getting in the car real quick, and she sits directly on it, and I'm just like, there's a rose there. She goes,
like-
oh,
I feel like I have to do it.
you're nervous there? Yes,
Oh,
there's a
oh.
rose. There's a rose.
Thank you.
And then I'm like, all right, guys, we're headed off. Come on.
And then we walked back inside, and then we made the united decision to follow you.
We were gonna go just to dinner, but this was like dinner in a
Way
shop.
more fun.
Yeah.
What the? It had to be realistic.
Oh my gosh,
This is
you
literally-
did break it.
I broke it when I sat on it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine
It just makes the story so much
going
better.
on your first date, sitting on the rose he gets you? Like, that is so
Bro.
embarrassing. And then, oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was honestly, I had to just own it. I was a little embarrassed because I was
Oh,
like, all right,
my
this
word.
is not going the way I planned. So
No, but nothing in our relationship has ever gone the way that we
no,
planned.
but the stories are immaculate.
Oh, they're uncomparable
They're
to
the
anyone else's.
best.
In a way though, I feel like them catching us outside kind of broke the ice between us because it gave us something to talk about, and it's so weird because we had spent every day together. Like Austin literally had lived with us at that point for almost 2 years since the beginning of quarantine, but you're seeing them in a different light, how you almost become strangers again and you don't even know what to talk about. So when that happened, I was like, okay, like we have something to freak out about together. And I remember Austin telling me,
Okay, you ready? I gotta show you something.
and then he pulled up to this little Christmas house that was all decked out in the middle of November because he knew how much I loved Christmas, and this is how it went.
All right, so we're gonna reenact it for you guys real quick.
Okay, ready?
Pulling up to the house. So, Allison, this is the very first Christmas house of the season.
Why are you reenacting it like that?
What do you mean?
Oh my gosh. It's like the Polar Express. I think you were playing the Polar Express actually.
Was I?
Yes.
Dang, I'm good.
You're so good.
I'm good.
It's the little things.
All right, check the glove box.
Why?
Just check it.
Okay. Oh, it's a Polaroid. I love it. What is it for?
This is to make a memory of each place that we go. Do you remember what was on the note?
No, I don't.
So what I put on the note was actually 2 memories that will last a lifetime.
Oh my gosh, that's what I was thinking in my head, but I wasn't sure if it was right, so I wasn't gonna say it.
And I wrote that down on everything that I gave to Allie. Like any kind of note I wrote to her or anything like that, I always wrote to memories that will last a lifetime. And that was the note that was on this one when we took our first Polaroid.
Should we take another one?
I think we should take
Reenact it?
Yes.
Okay, go.
It was awkward, so I wasn't getting too close. All right, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
I remember in that moment being like, this is the intentionality that you only hear about in the movies, that everyone tells you is not real, but it was. And I remember feeling so conflicted in that moment because on one hand, I felt so appreciated and so seen and so valued and sought after. And this man of God that was before me was so amazing and so fun and so intentional and knew me, who I really was. This wasn't like a stranger that was taking me on a first date that didn't know me. Like he had seen the parts of me that I struggle with and my insecurities, and he still loved me and he still valued me, and that didn't impact the way that he saw me or treated me at all. So this was different. This was real. Pulling up to the restaurant, this was definitely one of the most anxious moments that I had the entire night, because when we got out of the car, Austin held my hand, and this was something that like we had only really done when we were sitting on the couch next to each other when nobody really knew, like under the blanket, kind of testing the waters to see if one another liked each other. And so when he was holding my hands in public, like declaring that we were together, I was stressed out because I didn't know if I felt that way about him. I didn't know if it was really real. I didn't want to hurt him still. All these thoughts were just consuming my mind. So I was nervous somebody would see us and then they would think that we were together and we weren't yet. Like I was feeling all those feelings that you feel on the first date of just discerning, except for I'd known this guy for forever. So when we were at the dinner table, it's funny because I actually couldn't look Austin in the eyes. Like I felt so uncomfortable when I would look at him in the eyes, because it says in the Bible, the eyes are the gateway to the soul. And I felt like I could literally see his soul when I was looking into his eyes, and I could see how much he liked me.
So when we got here, when we actually sat down for the date, I pulled out her chair, you know, like a gentleman does.
Yeah,
right?
you know how like you kind of see in the romance movies, except for this was actually me now, the first time ever, and I felt like a child, so I was super awkward. I had no idea what to do.
Yeah, and I pretended like I had all the confidence in the world, and I
all the
was
strength
actually
in the world when he
sweating
tried
inside.
to push the chair in and then sat like 4 feet across from me and then tried to yank it over slowly.
Okay, so I had seen this move, you know, like a long time ago, where like the guy sat down a little further away, and then he like showed off his strength by like going and grabbing the seat and like pulling it over to where she,
Yeah, like it was like super like hot and cool,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
oh, come here,
and
babe.
except when I pulled it, the chair didn't move.
Okay, that's so rude and
It just didn't move.
So
I
true.
I pulled it, and then I just gave up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm sitting here far away.
I don't know who he thinks I am. Like, I ain't no frail girl over here. Like, I got some meat on my bones. My last name is freaking Schnacky, for goodness sake. I feel like this is a really good point to bring up the fact that Austin basically asked me to marry him on our first date.
Oh my gosh.
You know it's true?
No.
He's straight up. Okay,
No.
listen, I'm still trying to figure out if I have feelings
Overdramatic.
for this guy. And he's over
Overdramatic.
here saying to me like, oh yeah, when we have a house together, first date.
No, that's not how it happened.
Okay.
We were talking about like kitchen decor and like, ooh, this is the different styles that we like, right? And I was like, yo, if we had a house together, right, it would be the same. Okay, now I get how it.
Yeah,
how it
yeah, and you didn't say if.
But
You
it
said
wasn't
when we
like-
have a house together, let's imagine what we decorate our
There's
kitchen
no
like.
way I said when.
Let's imagine. And I was
No.
like,
I was like, yo, if we did it together, we would make the sickest house, right?
no, yeah. I don't know, man. As we were leaving the restaurant, I remember thinking to myself, that was so fun. I had no idea where Austin was taking me next. He kept telling me that it was something I had never done before, or him, and so we were experiencing it for the first time together, and that it was gonna be a lot of fun. And so Austin pulled up into one of the most iconic places in Orlando, and then I remember him walking up to the Orlando Eye, which is the second biggest Ferris wheel in the entire world, and telling me that we were gonna be going on this Eye together. And I'm not even gonna lie, guys, it gave me straight Notebook vibes. I love that movie. And so I was for it. One of the funniest moments between us on this date was I remember looking at me and Austin's reflection when we were in the line for the Orlando Eye and being like, oh my gosh, is he really that tall? Like, he's kind of hot. Like, I never really saw him that way. But I turned to him and I was like, have you always been this tall? And he's like, yeah. And then both of us kind of just laughed because I literally thought that Austin was my height. I'd never seen him like that before. And looking in the mirror, I thought to myself for the first time, you know, we've been kind of a cute couple. And that is when my worst nightmare happened. Y'all have got to listen to this.
Alright guys, so this is one of the most awkward stories that happened when we were here.
Right here in this
Already,
line.
Allie was like super nervous to be here with me.
Already feeling weird, looking all over for somebody that knew me.
Like we didn't want to be seen in public at that time because we were like, we still don't even know and this is just really, really awkward. And we're standing in line, right? And then all of a sudden we feel a tap on our backs and guess who it was?
My cousin Amira was literally in the line to go on the Ferris wheel with her dad and caught us on our first date, literally holding hands, trying to make ourselves like believe that it was normal when it completely wasn't.
So awkward.
Best part is, she didn't just leave it at that. She went and FaceTimed my aunt,
Yep.
she went and FaceTimed my grandma,
Yep,
and
and she's
showed
like,
them
hey,
where
look,
we were.
look at where they're at. They're on a date. It was a lot.
Long story
Yeah.
short, secrets don't last long in our family, and they don't just stay within the people that you know. They go to all of our extended family too. When it was our turn to go into the Ferris wheel, Austin was so excited because he had made a playlist specifically of old school music that he knew that I liked because he found out online that you could connect your phone to the Bluetooth. He was gonna set the mood, make it super fun in there. We got in the one defective pod of the Orlando Eye. Every single thing that could have gone wrong on this date pretty much went wrong.
Alright, so this is kind of how it went. I was like trying to set up this fun romantic mood. I think were you sitting here?
I was sitting like
She was sitting
here.
down.
We were trying to figure out how to sit.
And like, it was super awkward. Every like 30 seconds to a minute, there was this voice that came on and said, welcome to the Orlando Eye. And it was like not romantic at all. And I was like,
He was so stressed. He's like,
Bro.
oh my gosh, Allie, I literally figured this all out. I had the music I was gonna play, and I was like, it's okay.
I had a little mental breakdown because I was like, it was going perfectly, right? So I was like, I'm just gonna play it from my phone.
I just want this moment to slow down. Don't let it get away from us both now. It all goes so fast, I don't know how to make it all last. I'm gonna want this moment back, so before it's the past, let's just slow down.
And at one point, I remember him grabbing my hand and playing the song Cheek to Cheek by Ella Fitzgerald. And it was one of the most special moments that me and Austin have ever had, dancing cheek to cheek. And I remember he kept pulling back to look at me in the eyes, and I kept swerving him because I was so nervous that he was gonna kiss me, and I just wasn't ready for that yet.
Going up 23 and one knee could turn into a family. I can see a white dress, I can see my mom cry. But before we go and start our whole lives.
So, I don't know if Ferris was actually in the Ferris wheel, but I have a question to ask.
Yes.
Can I give you this song?
Yes. And in that moment, I was
We looked back and laughed about the days before. We knew that this would be the start, knew that this would change our lives. But for now, can we just take in the night? Baby, slow down, don't let it get away from us both now. It all goes so fast, I don't know how to make it all last. I'm gonna want this moment back, so before it's the past, let's just slow down.
And so from there, we ran to the car, grabbed our Polaroid picture that we were gonna be using to document everything. We ran to the field in front of the Orlando Eye, and we took a picture to document our first date. Looking back now on these sweet memories of me and Austin's first date, I realized that even though in the moment it felt like I was confused and like I didn't know what the right step to take was, it was always so clear what my feelings were for Austin. I can see them all over the little moments of the way that he would look at me and the way that I would feel. The way when he held my hand even though I was scared, I got butterflies in my stomach. The way when he kissed me on the forehead, I wished so bad deep inside that he would have asked to kiss me for real. And I'm so thankful that I didn't let my comfort zone, fear, the opinions of others dictate whether or not I took that leap of faith or not, but that I trusted in what I felt God was calling me to do, because had I not, we would have never been here today. All of the good times wouldn't have been there. And so I wanted to encourage you guys, if you guys are fearful of something, if you guys are scared to step outside of your comfort zone or what people think about you, don't let that hold you back from an amazing thing, an amazing blessing that God is wanting to bring into your life. So ask God to give you peace on what the first step is, and then take that leap of faith, because faith is spelled risk. Faith is jumping into the unknown and trusting that when you're in God's will, that He is going to catch you and turn all things together for your good. And so even though this is the end of today's video, that is not the end of our first date, because next week I'm gonna be telling you guys all about me and Austin's first kiss. Oh, you heard that right. I never would have thought this, but we had our first kiss on our first date. And this is a story, honestly, I didn't think I was ever gonna tell anyone ever, because it is just that embarrassing. So you don't miss out on this story. Make sure you guys click whatever button you gotta click, subscribe, like. When you guys like these videos, you guys are the reason why we've been trending every single one of our videos we posted so far. The tea is spilling next week. This is what we've been waiting for. Also, don't forget to click the link below and follow me on Instagram to enter in me and Austin's giveaway to bring you and your best friend here to Orlando to attend the JWLKRS conference for free. It is going to be an awesome time you don't want to miss. Yeah. Bye.
All you need, this old world doesn't see. Someday we could all be free. We could change the world if we would just believe. 'Cause faith and love is all you need. This old world doesn't see. Someday we could all be free.